This is Lewis Ritson and you're watching Sport Icons.
So Alexander Povetkin, who is the WBA mandatory and #1 for WBO, has said that he's only interested in fighting Anthony Joshua. He's not interested in anybody else. That's the fight that he wants. And this is what Povetkin had to say. I'm the mandatory challenger for Joshua. I look forward to the moment when I can compete against the best in the world. Anthony has 4 belts. I want this fight, and I don't even think about fighting somebody else. So that is Povetkin's statement. So as we know, Joshua is pushing hard to try and get the Wilder fight. And with Povetkin, if he doesn't fight Wilder, if things don't work out how both sides can be happy with it, then Joshua's going to move on, and he's going to have to fight Povetkin, right? Of course, he could ask for an exemption, but they're unlikely to give it. They've been wanting the WBA, that is, have been wanting their mandatory fulfilled for a very, very long time. So Povetkin is there. He's dangerous. He's world class with an excellent background at amateur, and has a record that is phenomenal. I mean, for me, and it's just my opinion, of course, but if you look at all the guys that he's been in the ring with over the years, including his only one loss to Vladimir Klitschko, he has the best record or the best resume out of everybody for names that he's fought and beat and been in the ring with. Of course, there are some others that are close. Obviously, Joshua was close. Joseph Parker's close as well. But it's a dangerous fight for Joshua. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. And I'll stand by it. I see Povetkin as a more difficult fight for Joshua than Wilder would be. That's all I'm saying on that one. Because Povetkin is far superior in virtually every way to Joshua except for power. Now, again, Joshua, he struggles against shorter guys. Now, Povetkin's not a shorter guy, you know, he's bigger than the average bear. You know, he's a big old unit. But compared to Joshua, he's noticeably smaller, no doubt about it. And Joshua, he likes fighting the taller guys. Have a look at him against Dominic Breazeale and Charles Mind, you know, and Gary Cornish and Vladimir Klitschko. Look at his performances against these guys, you know, and big guys are there to be hit. Wilder is there to be hit. Yes, he's stupidly dangerous, no doubt about it, but he's there to be hit. And that's why when you see him in there with like Takam and Joseph Parker, they're a bit shorter. So he struggled a bit more. Now, I'm not saying struggled because he won virtually all the rounds for both of those fights, right? But, you know, again, Povetkin is, I don't know, could you say more skilled than Parker, than Takam? Probably, yes. I mean, of course, he did beat Takam. This is Povetkin. He beat Takam by knockout. I think he's the only guy to have actually knocked out Takam. So, yeah, for me, it's a real dangerous fight. Of course, if this fight was to happen next, or whenever it may be, where would it be? Would it be in Russia, which would be at the Luzhniki Stadium? Or could it be at Old Trafford, was a stadium that was mentioned by Barry Hearn, so the Manchester United Football Club, maybe a Wembley or a Cardiff. You know, there's so many places, but of course Povetkin and his team, World of Boxing, are going to want it in Russia. Would Povetkin win that purse bid? There's a very good chance of it, because even with Eddie Hearn's new money that he's got, this $1 billion that he's got from Tazan, and even then, it's not enough. Povetkin's team, if they really wanted it in Russia, they'll get it in Russia. If not, Joshua can end up vacating, which of course has been a talking point before, where Eddie Hearn said if necessary, they will vacate that title. So either way, for me, I think if Wilder really does want this fight with Joshua, he needs to get a move on, and both teams need to sort it out ASAP, because if push comes to shove, then Joshua could end up having to go to Russia, in which case he may end up vacating that title, which means him against Wilder will not be for Undisputed. So anyway, a little food for thought there. So Alexander Povetkin says he's not interested in anybody else. In other words, if he's offered step aside against a voluntary because Joshua wants to go fight Big Baby Miller, Povetkin can quite happily, and it seems that way, to say, it ain't happening. Okay, The only way that Povetkin cannot argue with it is if the WBA say, yes, we accept the Undisputed fight. But anyway, drop your thoughts below. Click that thumbs up. Subscribe. Catch you next video.